At first glance, high-explosive rounds aren't well suited to fight enemy armor. As a general rule, they don't have high penetration rates and often follow a complex trajectory. But even a single HE round hitting that sweet spot right under the enemy's turret, or simply the sides or the rear, can take out even the most formidable of foes, and sometimes outshine even the best of the APFSES or heat rounds. Today we're going to talk about vehicles that are really good at getting those one-shot eliminations, although that often requires some skill. Here are our top picks for vehicles that can do HE rounds justice. The first vehicle on display today is the French Lorraine 155 MLE 50. This gift SPG doesn't have much of that typical tank destroyer DNA. There's almost no armor to talk about, and its main gun has a pitiful depression of -5 degrees. Given that it's a 155mm howitzer firing shells the way 155mm howitzers do, this Lorraine is not an easy vehicle to use. You have to find a good position if you want to score any eliminations. Well, you know what this tank destroyer is extremely good at? Getting to places. It's not just as fast as many medium tanks, it's considerably faster than them. It also comes with a secondary 20mm cannon with a pretty fast reload. It's really good for dealing with light vehicles. The Soviet T-72A relies on APF-STS rounds most of the time, but do not underestimate the power of its 3OF-26HE shell. It follows a nice predictable trajectory, carries 5 kilograms of explosive matter, and penetrates more than 40 millimeters of armor. Target enemy sides or the area right under the turret, and these HE rounds will send even the most well-armored Western MBTs back to their hangars. Get used to alternating ammo types, and this slightly slow but reliable tank will work wonders in the field. The Centurion, Havre, representing British Royal Engineers, is armed with a truly devastating gun. Its 165mm cannon makes short work of both enemy fortifications and enemy armor. Hardly any surprise there, really, given that it fires rounds penetrating more than 200 millimeters of armor. If you achieve penetration, any enemy vehicle is a goner, while the Centurion itself can prove to be a very tough nut to crack for many opponents. Thanks to a dozer blade protecting you from the front, as well as some Romor E era, the Havre makes for a good close-range combatant. Long range? Not for us. Not with our ballistics, anyway. The next vehicle belongs to the big family of tank destroyers as well. Say hi to the Object 120, alternatively known as the Su-152 Taran, which means battering ram in Russian. That's no coincidence. Taran's HE rounds follow predictable trajectories and pack a punch. At the same time, the main selling point of the Object 120 is not its ordinary HE shells, but its heat rounds. In this case, they cause just as many explosions, while also having way higher penetration rates, allowing the Taran to solve most of its problems with a single well-aimed heat shot. Can you do the same with your fancy sub-caliber round? Exactly. Then there is this proud American, the M4A3-105. It has the mobility of a medium tank and firepower of a medium tank outfitted with a massive howitzer. It comes with armor that is more than 60 millimeters thick and is sloped at good enough angles to provide decent protection when engaging rank 1 or rank 2 opponents. And thanks to a powerful engine, the tank is also sufficiently agile At the same time, there aren't that many vehicles that can run into this tank in battle and survive a hit from its 105mm howitzer, especially because, thanks to good gun depression and elevation, this Sherman is just as viable on hills or in an urban environment as on flat terrain. In other words, it's highly versatile. Looking back at the list of vehicles that we already compiled, it's hard not to notice a certain pattern. There are lots of tank destroyers there. What can we do, though? They're just that good. Take the Japanese Horo, for instance. For a Rank 1 vehicle, its 150mm howitzer is an overkill. What makes it even better is that it's a joy to use with its excellent gun depression of -10 degrees. The only opponents capable of surviving a single hit from that beauty can be found on much higher ranks, and even those won't like it if you hit them from the side. The final vehicle we're going to mention today is the fearsome German Sturmpanzer II. Its rounds, carrying almost 9 kilos of explosive matter each, easily wreck any vehicle of the first or second rank. Furthermore, the Sturmpanzer II has access to heat ammo capable of penetrating almost 200mm of steel, allowing it to fight well-armored targets as well. It doesn't have much armor itself, but the Sturmpanzer is not a big or a very noticeable vehicle. It's easy to hide it behind bushes or a pile of rubble. Do you like stealth? Here you go, then. Armored cars, SPAAGs, WW2-era light tanks, even modern armor vehicles. A good HE shell will blow them all out of this world. That's just what vehicles on this list do. They deal with big problems and even bigger explosions. God bless their fiery spirit. But what are your favorite vehicles with good HE capabilities? Were they mentioned on the list? Tell us in the comments below.